Welcome back, Cyclocross people. I'm excited. We're back again racing World Championships this weekend, but we've got our own little World Championships, well, Club Championships. It's almost the same because the one that wins has bragging rights all season. So normally it's my biggest race and I'm going full gas for it. I don't know where my conditioning is after the lockdown, but only thing we do is go for it, just full gas, see where it takes us. Enjoy.
And we're off for the Club Championships. It's gonna be a long clip today because of a lot of intense close quarter racing with a lot of moves that I'm going to make and people are gonna make on me. First starting with this corner because well, I'm sharp and I see an opening. Matthijs takes it a bit wide, but on the next corner he's on the advantage and I just have to follow him to the next tarmac piece. And here he makes a sneaky move. He looks back, waits a bit, moves on the outside and attempts me to take the inside line and go into the wind on this part on the hill. And then just before the top he sneaks by me to take the first corners of the second corners for himself and take the lead again. So I'm following him again and I'm going to show you a first full lap so all you guys know where on the track the action is taking place. Here we're getting passed by Jan. He's steaming ahead full throttle and have to stay by him. So here I take a bit of a wider line, cut back on the inside and take the faster line through on the inside of Matthijs, trying to follow Jan to the first descent on this course. And my tactic of today is get in front on every descent so that I can get a bit of a gap and that at least nobody is slowing me down, or I can slow them down because they have to stay behind me. But Jan is not taking no for an answer. He's going past me already on the first tarmac. On the next descent it's an off-camber part again with an off-camber straight, followed by a very tough climb that you are going to see right now, where Jan is having a bit of trouble and I have to wait a bit for him because it's a muddy stairs. It's not a real stair, but you have like these footprints in it where you have to put your foot to keep a bit of traction to go up. And then here Jan is steaming ahead again and I'm feeling already that it's going to be a hard race for me, but I'm trying to stay with Matthijs because I think I can keep up with him. And then we have a bit of a cornering section after a muddy section. The muddy section was the tougher part where you have to plow through, and here you can rest up a bit, make up some time in the corners. And then after this we get a bit of a straight into the wind, so I need to stay close to Matthijs and well, save some energy for the next part. We have a bit of a bumpy descent, fresh descent where we have a lot of grassy bumps. It wasn't a very smooth or fast one, you have to pedal through it. And then after that we get some Dutch clinkers where you have to put down some power, followed by another bend here on the left, a muddy one where I made a bit of a slip, and then another right one before we get to the favorite part of the course for me today, and that's a bit of a tarmac descent where you get to full speed, and then here no brake, just go down, steer up again and keep your speed up. And here you can see that I have a bit more speed than Matthijs, and like I always said, if you can move up, do it, because if you don't do it, somebody's gonna do it on yourself. So here I'm bridging the gap to Jan and immediately I take the lower line, get in front of him, try to block him here, but Jan takes a very smart line. He waits a bit and then cuts back behind me with more speed and he goes in front of me again, trying to follow him on the last 2 turns before the finish line. We're gonna take a right here and then a U-turn, and when I take that on the right you can see that there are gaps already with the guys behind me. So right now Jan is riding away with me and I'm a bit alone for a few minutes, and then after 11 minutes into the race Robert catches up with me and passes me, and my strategy is to follow him and make a pacer out of him to maybe get me to the front, or at least keep me up in the front away from the riders behind me. And then here again on my favorite part I'm gonna make a move on him again because I felt he was stronger, so I have to be in front of him, maybe make him slow down a bit, or at least make sure I'm going to keep up with him by playing to my strengths. And my strengths are corners and descending, So here on the left you see the gaps again with Matthijs and Martin behind me. And then after 40 minutes Robert passed me again. So I passed him, or he passed me, I passed him again, and 3 minutes later he passed me again. So the moves I'm making, the play I'm doing is to keep them behind me is working, but here on the climb he has a bit more power. But into the corners I came back to him, and when I'm close I'm gonna make a move again, because here on the inside line it's a bit late, but there was enough room to get in between him and not touching shoulders. So I get in front of him again, then onto the next descent. But then, you know, I'm not really fast through it, and Robert is going to pass me on the lower line, so that's very strong from him, and that breaks me a little. My heart rate is pretty high after this climb, and I have to let him go for a bit. But then here I'm noticing that Martin has crossed the gap. You see my heart rate is a bit lower, so I slowed down a bit. And then when Martin is passing me on this climb, I got another rider that I have to battle to keep up. And he's going into third place right now, which means I'm in fourth. And nobody wants to finish fourth. So I have to stay with him and make sure I get on the podium for this club championship. So I'm going all out into these corners, trying to stay with him. But after we get through these little woods, we're going to see Robert on the left side. He crashed after the descent, going on the throttle too fast where it's muddy, and he slipped. So now we're riding into second and third, and that's not what I was expecting before the race. So I have a mission right now: make sure I'm going to win from Martin. We fought a lot this cross season. He won some, I won some, but this last one I want to win. So here on the last straight on the off-camera part, I came back to him, and now I have to stay into the wheel. But we're 30 minutes in, and Martin still has a lot of power. He gapped me a little bit. Then into the corners, I'm going to come back to him. He's holding his foot still on these corners, and I'm pedaling through, making sure that on the next part where we go through the wind, I'm right in the wheels, saving some energy, profiting of his very large torso, staying out of the wind, make sure that on the next part I can still follow him. But you know, on this next part I'm feeling that he's a lot stronger, going full throttle onto these little clinkers. But then on the descent I can come back a little bit more, right here on the wheel, and then when I'm on the wheel going into the next descent, I'm going to pass him, trying to slow him down, make sure that I can stay with him more easily. But Martin doesn't want anything of it. He goes through right again, and we're 34 minutes in now. So that's at least 50 minutes more to go with him, and it's gonna be a hard one. I'm on the ropes right now, still with him, trying to take over, but then we get to the climb, and he's going to make me suffer pretty big, because Martin is a big engine. Here he shouts, here we go again, and he puts down his big water just to make me suffer and gap me again. But I'm trying to stay with him, and on the next two descents I get a bit closer to him again, where we can hear Walter complaining about these steep stairs. I said to him, it's a New Year's gift from me, because I'm the track builder, and I put it in, and it suited me pretty good actually. And here on the descents I'm trying to get back to Martin again. We're 41 minutes in, and then he has 20 meters on me right now. He has maybe 50 meters, and we get the last lap. And last lap means for me, okay, one big effort again from 7 to 8 minutes all out. If I can make second, I'm going to be very happy. So I'm going to give it my best, my all, full pedal to the metal, even starting on this climb, not pacing myself, but making sure I'm keeping the gap close to Martin on this next climb. Again, going full out, even closing the gap a little bit, so that on these technical parts I can come closer to him. And here we come up to Jos, a rider from a lower class, but he's going to be a true gentleman and give us the room, because I shout I'm going to come on his right. And here we see Martin make a strange move, because all race I saw him ride the same line as I'm doing right now, but he's going to get on the inside and on the muddy outside, and he slipped so I could pass him. And now it's all out to the finish line. full risk on these descents, because right now if I stay in front of him I'm going to be second. But on this tarmac I'm gonna wait a bit and right now put the throttle on, going into this next descent, because I didn't want to slip like Robert did on the first half of the race. Here I'm making sure that I stay upwards. Here I almost crash on the right side, on the wrong side of normally where I get off, but I saved it. Going on this steep stairs, Martin closed the gap a bit, and I'm with my heart rate through the roof, highest as it was all race, so I can't make any mistakes. Right now on these clinkers I look back, I see I have 3, 4, maybe 5 meters at the most, so I can't make any mistakes. The best part for me is coming right now, the descent, so if I don't make any mistakes I think I'm going to take now. Look to the left right now, I see Martin 3, 4 lengths behind me, going full at it, all these parts, and then here going on inside, and right now here I look to the right and I see Martin has given up a bit, and then I'm going for the finish line to take second place at the club championships. Really happy with that.
Fuck yeah. Come on. Yeah, come on.
And of course showing respect to your competitors.
Lekker pik. Ja, de pik. Kijk, mooi man.
Dat was echt magisch harde finale rondes met Martin, jongen, hè Martin?
Ja, ik zag het. Fantastisch mooi.
Hoe kan
man, lekker.
Ja? Ja. Maar de laatste ronde, toen was het echt alles of niets.
So that was the big club championship. Normally the biggest race for me of the season, where it's mostly about honor and bragging rights for the whole season. And after Christmas week, of around Christmas, we got a lockdown. My motivation dropped when the race got postponed. But 3 weeks later, we still rode it, and yeah, it surprised me totally how good I was, how I raced. The track was precisely the way I like it. Short, steep efforts and moments of rest in between to pace yourself and to focus on smooth riding, technical right riding, to flatten out the effort and be speedy all the way through. And you can see in the races that I move back and forth with some riders that have a different rhythm, and for me it just worked. Unfortunately, it wasn't the strongest, so first place was out of reach. But after riding fourth and moving up to third, and then in the last lap taking second, that was just the amazing cross feeling that I've missed all season, to be in the race, to fight all race, and to finish off very strong and take that last spot that you can still take. If I hadn't taken the came third, I was happy as well, but now I just had like this euphoric feeling, so really happy how that turned out. It gives me good feelings towards the upcoming summer or spring season without cross. But we still got the couple cross left next week, so hope to see you then.